You are listening to DropTent Media Network.
All right, welcome to the cast. Got a sick guest today. We got Chris from Brooklyn from High Society Radio on Gas Digital, baby. How we doing?
Good. Again, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem, man. We got the hot suggestion from Harrington.
Oh, yeah, he was on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and he just hit me up. He was just like, yo, have Chris on. I was like, all right, sick.
Yeah, it's kind of like a blind date.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But one thing that I thought was a good sign, I was watching the last episode, saw you were rocking a Natty Ice. Big respect over here on that.
Well, you know, in Manhattan, if you go to a Key Food and you buy a 15-pack of Natty Ice, costs the same amount as a 6-pack of Budweiser in a corner store. So what are you gonna do? You got to go Natty.
You got it. We're rocking the Coors, and the mountains are not blue.
Yeah, we couldn't afford the blue stuff. Whatever they put in those other cans, it's a little bit more expensive. Can't afford that.
It's the Mercury. It's
Yeah, that can't be a normal thing that people were just drinking and not dying from, right? They just took it out without.
I like to think they reused all those kids' gloves from the '80s that change color when you throw a snowball.
Yeah, yo, those things were sick. I completely forgot about those till just now.
What were those?
I have no idea. What was the point? It was just cuz.
All right, I feel like that was like almost everything in the 80s. They're like, yo, we're going to have White Snake just cuz.
They used to have gloves. I think they were like slime on the outside.
Oh, okay.
That also didn't make much sense to me either. But then you would like leave clues around the house. I don't know what the fucking point was.
Well, like Mad Balls were fucking stupid. Do you remember Mad Balls?
No,
they were just like really gross looking balls. They were like characters on a ball, but it wasn't a good ball. Like you. It was like foam rubber, but they were like $12.
It's a bouncy ball or nothing?
No, they didn't bounce. It was just a grotesque character in ball shape that did nothing. It was useless.
That sounds.
I guess you could throw it at your little brother's face. I used to do that.
All right,
that's tight. I mean, when did Sock and Boppers come in? That was probably like late 90s, early 2000s, right?
I wonder how many kids died because of Sock and Boppers.
That shit did get
their
intense.
Older brother with the powerful arm just right in the face, whiplash, broke the kid's neck.
Dude, as an adult, I punched a dude through a full-length mirror wearing Sock and Boppers at a party. Because we were like, yeah, it's Sock and Boppers, it'll be fine. And we were hammered, and I just punched him, and he fell right into a full-length mirror in this apartment.
Did he die?
No, he's fine. He later lost a finger.
Really? Oh, wait. Is this the finger that you almost ate?
Yes, it is the finger I almost ate.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm on the same page as you. From what I understand, is that you were willing and almost wanted to eat this.
Oh yeah, well, my buddy lost his finger. Good friend of mine.
Was it like right then and there? You're like, all right, what do we do with this finger? You need
no. Obviously, no. We obviously brought him to the hospital to get stitched up first. But then, like a week later, he was like, well, I mean, this is our chance to eat human flesh. And we were going to do it, and then our chicks got wind of it, and they really gave us a talking to about cannibalism, which I don't really think is cannibalism. It's not cannibalism if you do it with the dude.
Right. It's kind of like it's not gay if you kiss your boys on the lips. It's fine.
Yeah, especially if you're in the mafia.
I like to imagine, though, that like as soon as it got chopped off, they're like, where'd the finger go? And you were just gnawing it in the corner. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, how are you thinking?
I just took out a Zippo and was just cooking it up.
It's like, yo, at least let's try to sew it back on my hand first. Like, nah, dude, let's eat it right now.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, going into it, was there a game plan preparation-wise?
I think I was just going to go very basic: salt, pepper, a little olive oil. You know what I mean? You really got to taste the human flesh, you know?
You know, throw it on the grill, or just kind of like...
Yeah. I was going to do the cast iron, get a good sear on there.
Right, yeah, you got to sear that up.
You're like, dude, it's falling off the bone.
I feel like this is the way that, people eating bats was Corona, so I feel like this would be...
He's Chinese, too. The kid I'm talking about is Chinese, so it would have been, it would have been a whole issue. We would have gotten 5 years earlier plague.
Dude, I don't know. I don't think you even get the plague on that. I think that's straight up zombie apocalypse.
No, I feel like a Chinese finger, you can't even eat that. You got to make it a necklace. That's like a rabbit's foot almost. I feel like that's
You
good.
didn't know it
torture.
was a trap. You can't eat a Chinese finger.
Yeah, Chinese finger trap. That was the trap, dude. You would have been stuck inside a
Oh.
Chinese person's finger for the rest of
Yeah, I
your
would have been. I ended up in some weird sort of Asian phantom zone. I would have became one of those flat paintings from Japan in the feudal era.
life. You would have went to go wash your hands, and when you were done, your fingers were just stuck together. You're like, no,
Yeah.
for life though.
Yeah, that's bad juju, baby. Can't be doing that. You actually dodged a bullet with that. At first, I was like sick because I did hear that human flesh tastes unreal.
Yeah, I would do it. I would probably take a chunk of someone's calf or something like that.
Yeah.
Just for the experience. I would be like, I was like more down to do it before like I found out that you get viruses from doing that type of shit. Like I was like, people like, would you eat monkey? I'm like, dude, I'll eat anything if you put it in front of me.
Yeah. I guess, now I'm probably more suspect on weird animals. I mean, I've eaten some weird animals. I've eaten like kangaroo and shit.
Really? What's kangaroo like? Kangaroo
It's
jack?
just gamey. It kind of tastes like venison. It's pretty good.
Okay. All right.
Does gamey just mean like chewy?
Yeah, it's like chewy and like, it's got that like, there's less of that fat kind of taste that, like when a steak marbleizes, you get a little bit more. It's like a little more, you kind of taste the earth in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got hops.
Yeah.
You could tell it was definitely free at one point and enjoyed life. You could taste it in the meat.
Yeah.
I like that free range brew.
Yeah. Just a farm with kangaroo. I guess they probably do have kangaroo farms.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I never got too crazy with the meats. I do want to try some more exotic shit. I was always a picky ass eater. I had broccoli for the first time like 2 years ago.
You wouldn't even try it?
No. And one time I was at a friend's house and his family made dinner, and I could tell that they felt really bad. That I was like, no, thank you. So that I felt bad. So I was like, fuck it. Like I would rather not be rude than I tried. I was like, not too bad. And that opened up everything for me. So now I'm gonna eat fucking roux.
Wow. Yeah,
That's like a weird. Picky eating is like a weird. That's like a kid thing that you just don't outgrow, right? Like, and it like you find that you like. I lucked out. Like the weird thing that I didn't like as a kid was cheese, and you can't really avoid it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's just like, all right, well, I guess I just eat any food now. You know what I mean? Like that was my picky thing. I wouldn't eat anything with cheese. And then as an adult, you just go, well, I can't just avoid this for the rest of my life. Let me try this. It's on 30% of foods. And then it's like, all right, I guess I just fucking eat cheese now.
Yeah, I think starting to drink a lot more helped because I was just drinking rat piss anyways. So I was like, it can't be worse than like Evan Williams just sitting in my trunk for 3 days. I used to drink just hot Evan Williams.
Ew, dude. Actually, I mean, I think there's actually places that like prefer it at like a heated. I mean, I think that's just people in the desert because they can't afford anything else.
Damn.
Or like it's just so hot there that all their whiskey's just boiling.
God damn. Well, what's like the shittiest thing you've drank?
The grossest booze?
Yeah.
You ever have Mount Gay rum? I hate that shit.
What is that?
It tastes like a banana that was passed out of someone's asshole. It's a Jamaican rum, and there's probably somebody that'll get mad at me for saying this. It's the fucking. I used to call it the death rum.
Is it really dark?
No, it's a light one. It's just disgusting. It tastes worse than 99 bananas and more like bananas.
Ugh.
Did you mix it with anything, or you just had it straight?
Straight.
Just
The first time I had it, I've had it since then with cola, but ugh. Yeah, it's very gross.
You try chasing it with just a banana. Take a bite of a banana every time you take a shot. I guarantee you that's the fucking key. See, I was always weird. I think a lot of people. Were you grossed out by like gummy, like candy flavored banana stuff?
Yes.
See, I was a weird kid that liked it, which was actually beneficial. If you actually liked the candy that everyone hated, everyone made fun of you for it, but you still got like more of the candy. You're like, yo, give me all your banana flavored Laffy Taffies. No one else wanted them. You make good trades that way.
True. Yeah, you were getting all
different, man. That's what I'm saying out here.
You were getting all like the yellow Skittles.
They have banana flavored Skittles.
I remember everyone hated the yellow Skittles, if I remember correctly.
Lemons.
Yeah, I think like pink was where it's at. Red.
I don't even know if they have pink Skittles, dude.
Maybe that was.
I think you're thinking of Starburst.
Yeah, you're thinking.
Yeah.
Pink. Yeah, someone actually you're thinking Starburst because someone for like Bad Santa got a bag of just the yellow Starburst for somebody, and they were so upset. It's just like a big 30-pound bag of Starburst. He's like, what are we gonna do with all this shit?
That's
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah.
At that point, you're just using it as thumbtack or whatever.
Yeah,
to hang
you put it in
posters
your
in
mouth.
house.
Yeah, put
Yeah.
it in your mouth, chew it, make like one of those weird ass sculptures out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yo,
Be an artist.
this is actually kind of timely because of Van Halen. They used to do that thing where in their rider they were like pick out all the green M&Ms, and if they didn't do it, they were like, "Fuck it, we're not playing."
He would chop off your fingers and eat them in front of you.
Yeah. Eddie could use all the fingers he can get to because he had those sweet taps. But yeah, I mean, it kind of made sense, the rationale. At first, I thought it was a diva thing, but it ended up being.
They explained it and it made sense. They were like trying to not have what was that band? Fucking Great White. They were trying to not have a Great White situation. They knew if they came in and it was green M&Ms, it's like, oh, what else didn't they pay attention to on their stage show, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had all like the pyrotechnics and shit back
Mhm.
then. My old guitar teacher was like in one of those like local 80s hair metal bands and shit like that. And back then they would just jerry rig like pyrotechnics and shit. And people just died. Like it was on the news. It's like at a local bar,
If I
like
don't
on
see-
Route 70. People just fucking get legs blown off to Don't Stop Believing.
For every green M&M I find in this bowl is just one dead person that's gonna be coming out from all this not paying attention to the pyrotechnics.
Yeah, they're real into the pageantry back then.
Dude, it made shows sick. I remember like hearing like they'd like blow M80s and like in the middle of concerts and shit, which sounds pretty scary now, but that would be fucking dope.
Yeah, and it is a weird dissonance because they're dressed like chicks doing like the most dude shit, just blowing
Yeah.
stuff up.
You're blowing stuff up on coke, waiting to just fuck like 74 chicks.
Yeah, but like wearing thongs.
Yeah, yeah. just stealing the girls' mascara on their way out.
No, that's probably why they all dressed like that. They just like lost their clothes from the night before, and they were just like, all right, I'm just at this point. It was like 5 girls' rooms that they were staying in a row, so they just kind of transformed into a female.
Yeah. And I think it might have been more of a like a psychological trick too, because didn't Bruce Lee used to dress up as a chick or like very effeminate and like fuck with dudes and then kick their ass? And
I
like,
have never heard that.
It fucked with them on another level.
I didn't
Because
think-
like this effeminate dude just fucked me up.
But Bruce Lee, though, I can't imagine Bruce Lee do it. Like, how did he dress up? Like, how does he dress up like effeminate?
I don't know. I heard Rogan talking about it. I was like, that's badass.
Put on some like eyeshadow.
Yeah. Holy shit, Bruce Lee's in Whitesnake.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. So did you grow up in Brooklyn or are you just
Yeah,
living
yeah.
there?
I'm born and raised out here.
Damn, but how did it feel when all the hipsters started coming in, taking over your home?
Gradual. I mean, it's been gradual. Well, I grew up in Gowanus, it's super gentrified right now, but like it's right next to Park Slope, which is like the yuppie capital of Brooklyn. So it's like I've been being used to it for a long time. There used to be a weird dividing line. It was like 6th Avenue back in the day. So like I know Dave Smith from Legion of Skanks. I've known Dave since I'm like 15, right? But I didn't meet him because he grew up 2 miles from me. I had to meet him through people I met through my cousin in South Brooklyn, like all the way across town, because that's how divided that neighborhood was between poor and fucking like, you know, better off. Like I was on like the very poor end of the neighborhood and he was not. And so it was just like, all right, that's how this goes. And now it's just like, oh, they've just moved down. They just bought up like a bunch of people I know became very rich. So it's like, their parents got a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because like the value went up over time.
Dude, we're talking about houses that were bought in, 1985 for a couple of $100,000 are worth $1.8 million now.
God damn, dude.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I know a guy who was living in Williamsburg,
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
That for. I mean, I guess it kind of checks out because everything in New York is expensive. But for his apartment, it was like $7,500 a month.
No. For
Yeah,
how
it-
big
it-
an apartment? It was like 10.
It was a two bedroom, 2 bathroom, kitchen.
7,500? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
That guy's a liar. $7,500 a month? That's insane.
That's such a weird flex.
Yeah.
Wait, could he have afforded it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
also no, he couldn't
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
But at that point, at 70, did he have a roommate?
I mean, he was living with his brother.
Okay, but that's even still weird. Just 7,500. My apartment is less than a third that price. It's very big. Like it's just like just move. What are you living in Williamsburg for?
Yeah, I like the building was nice, like sick gym in there, like dope, like rooftop hangout area and stuff like that. I don't know if that drives it up. I don't know shit about real estate or anything like that.
Think about the fact that you could buy a fucking house in most of New York State for like 2 years rent there.
Yeah, I guess location, baby.
It kind of sounds like he might have been staying in a hotel the whole time.
Yeah,
maybe. He's just living sweet life as Zach and Cody.
Dude, there was like a guy who lived in his house that like brought him like a cart every day with eggs on it in the morning.
Dude,
Part of the
I
rent.
fucking hope so.
Yeah, it's just like 3 guys just pretending that they're the landlord, and he had like short-term memory loss, and each week you would just give him $1,000. For some reason, now there's 7 weeks in a month in my story. Fuck you.
But yeah, dude, that's gotta be sick. Just growing up in like a dope market for what you already wanted to do. Like, well, we would have to like move to a new city, but you're just already there.
So yeah, but I fucked up and was just an asshole for most of my life. Even though I wanted to do this kind of stuff when I was a kid, you just kind of get lost. If enough stupid mooks in your life, like every adult role model I ever had was just like, look, man, you just get a city job, you do your 20 years and you're done. Like every fucking adult man I ever fucking got to talk to as a child said that to me. And I literally was like, well, I'm just going to sell drugs until I can't anymore and then shoot myself in the face. And that was my life goal until I was like 24. And I was like, oh, I kind of don't want to die. I should probably learn how to do something. And I like opened up a restaurant for a few years and like did some other shit. And now I'm like, okay, well, I guess now I'm just doing this thing I wanted to do when I was 5. All right. I'm severely far behind.
It took you through a loop a little bit. What kind of what kind of restaurant did you open?
I ran essentially like I ran a pop-up kitchen in a bar. So we did takeout out of a window. It was I assimilated to the hipster gentrification very much so. I did really upscale bar food, but I did it with like the big stupid Goon philosophy. Like I made like these giant sandwiches, but I made them with fancy ingredients. Like I used to in-house smoke duck breasts. I used to smoke my own duck breasts. And I would make grilled cheeses with duck breasts and like cherry compote and shit.
Oh,
and
I could see that.
I did shit.
Russian over there.
People loved it. Yeah, I actually ran into a comic who's actually on Skankfest South this year, Tommy Kang, who was like he was in Long Island City. I was like, oh yeah, I used to be a cook over there. And he's like, where? And I told him where I was working, and he was like, oh my god, can you make me a BLT, please? Like he was like, I used to eat your BLT 6 times a week. I swear to God.
BLT 6 times a week sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen, but I mean, some meals like that, you just gotta let them fly.
Oh yeah.
If food kills you, food kills you.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
True, but respect for assimilating to the market. Dude, what's that quote? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, dude.
That's the quote, I believe. Dude,
like all these people in New York now, because like shit is kind of fucked right now, and like everybody's kind of going, everybody's just saying crazy shit like, yeah, well, like now all these people are gonna leave, and like it's good for native New Yorkers. I was like, what about all the native New Yorkers who legitimately, like I'm not in those businesses anymore. Like I own other small businesses, but it's not really affected by COVID. But I have friends who grew up in the Lower East Side in a tenement where the bathtub was in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit, who like opened up fancy bars, saved their money their entire lives, and opened up fancy bars to adapt to New York so they didn't have to leave. And now those businesses are being destroyed. So it's like, what the, yeah, we all, like, people are getting fucked here. Sorry to get political.
No, that makes sense. I mean, everywhere is going through it. It's kind of crazy to see. I just started watching the Comedy Store documentary that's on Showtime. And, they're talking about the older generation and this new generation. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, they're, like, all gone right now. Like, the Comedy Store has taken such a huge fucking hit to their scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
obviously, I mean, just Rogan leaving is going to hurt them a lot, no?
Oh, like, a huge amount. He was the reason why they had that huge resurgence, because He left
Hundreds of
after-
millions of dollars of free advertising on the biggest show on earth. Yeah, that's gonna help.
Yeah, and he was booted or banned for a while because of the Carlos Mencia thing, and then they were under new management. I think
They really backed the wrong pony there, huh?
yeah, dude.
What's Mencia doing now? Where's his podcast ranked in the top 200?
I think it's right above ours.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so you guys are doing pretty sick then.
Well, we have to stay one episode behind him because we literally do verbatim what he does.
Oh, really? That's great. That's probably a sick plan.
That is a good. It's a good.
You
plan.
just whiten it up a little.
Yeah. We don't go L. We just say it. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, and then like Joey Diaz going to Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Segura's moving. Chris D'Elia died.
Are you following all these people?
Brian Callen. I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, it
Like
turns
that-
out leukemia is sexually transmitted, so that's how Chris D'Elia died.
Yeah, that's how we figured out that 17-year-olds have leukemia.
Yeah, you only have it one. Yeah, when you're 17, you grow out of it. Or 18.
Yeah, I wonder if that dude's gonna come back. But I mean, it seems like the New York scene. There are some people leaving, but it seems stronger than LA right now.
People who are leaving here are moving to Jersey and are just like, fuck it, I'll eat the cost on the Ubers. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's really, where are you going to go? LA's more locked down than here. Unless you're moving to Texas, you got nothing.
Yeah, well, Legion of Skanks just did an episode inside the stand.
Yeah, I was there last night. It was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, so.
But it does kind of suck. Like, I was there hanging out, and I literally just moved seats. And the manager there, Joe, who I'm friends with, was like, Chris, like, you really, if you stand up for 1 second, you have to put your mask on. Because if somebody takes the video and sees you in the background without a mask on standing, we could lose our liquor license.
Wow. Yeah, they're super strict about it because I think they were fining NFL coaches like $100,000 if they weren't wearing their masks.
The government or the NFL?
The NFL, but they
don't govern Legion of Skanks.
No, of course not. I mean, that's almost impossible. How would they see the video of the? Well,
So like, if somebody wanted to snitch on like Lewis or something, if somebody wanted to get the stand in trouble for housing, because they had like Kumia on last night, and there's like, I walk by without a mask on, even if I'm just going to take a leak and I'm not hanging around, that's a violation. It's so like, as soon as you sit down, you can take, like, I walk around my neighborhood and people are sitting outside at tables with no masks on. But if I'm like drinking a cup of coffee, they give you a dirty look for not wearing a mask. It's insane.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I was just at a wedding on Saturday. Beautiful wedding, but it was weird because they had a drone too. So I was like wearing my mask and I would like put it on, but every time I'd stand up because there was literally a drone there. I'm like, I can't. I don't want to be. That's weird. That it's. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't. It felt like it was just looking straight at me the entire time. I don't know. I was pretty high, but regardless, like, it was just weird that everyone would wear the masks when we would walk. But then as soon as like people were dancing, like as soon as people started like enjoying the wedding, all the masks were off. So it's like,
and I guess too,
no one was
that
taking as many
footage is
pictures.
mostly just for them.
Oh yeah, I know, but the government's after us. That wedding specifically. Well, I don't know.
It would take so much for me to watch someone's wedding footage. Like,
I-
unless something crazy happened.
Dude, I don't think anybody watches their own wedding footage ever in their whole life. They don't show it to their dude. I found when I was moving, I lived in my with my dad in my grandmother's old apartment when I was younger. And when I was moving out of that apartment, I found one of my cousin's wedding albums. And I called her and I go, I have your wedding album. She's like, what the fuck is it doing over there?
Yeah.
And I was like, and that's when they were like expensive. So she had one. And I was like, I don't know. It's in a closet here that I haven't ever looked at. Like, it's like, do you want this or am I throwing it away? She's like, well, I guess I should have it. Now it's just in a closet in her house, not being looked at.
Yeah. The weddings, just the idea of weddings always freaked me out. I've only been to a few. I went to a cousin's wedding and hers was insane. What I heard was that it was $60,000. And from being there, it looked like it. Like, it was very fancy, upscale, like black tie wedding, like the whole nine. and I'm just
Black tie.
like,
You had to wear a tuxedo?
yeah.
My buddy made a great point about that. Anybody who has a black tie wedding that most of the people they're friends with wouldn't just own a tuxedo, you're not having a wedding. You're having a costume party. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's like
it.
Phantom
Like,
of
that
the
is
Opera
not.
shit.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, if you're not part of the upper crust of society, which I assume your cousin isn't because I'm looking at a garage, like it's just what the fuck are you doing? Like, unless you have that tux to go to the fucking Met Gala regularly, and you're just like, oh, it's one more thing to wear my tux to. The fuck are you doing to people?
Yeah, and I just don't understand investing in one day.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like the whole "this is my big day" thing. Never got that.
I would love a big day for myself. I
I
would be a bridezilla for 100%, dude.
Do you understand how good of a vacation you could have with your spouse for $60,000?
Yeah, that is wild.
or even just set up like a better marriage.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
just invest that.
You
in
could
marriage.
buy you could clone a way more optimal spouse for $60,000.
Yeah, that'd be like for your restaurant.
Yeah.
Just opening it up and spending half your budget on like a grand opening.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
just like having no money for ingredients and shit.
See, I feel like I'd be talking more shit on weddings if I just wasn't at one recently because I was like, it was so beautiful. And at the same time, I'm
It's
like,
great attending.
I think, yeah, that's so much fun. But the thing, I think what it is, I'm starting to realize it might be a virus within itself. Weddings are just there to cause more weddings.
Oh, yeah, I agree. That's fucking a great point. Every time you go to a wedding, some asshole at the end of the night is drunk, and they're like, I think I should propose to my chick. And then 3 weeks later, they're fucking engaged, and you're like, fuck you. I got to spend another $200 on a hotel. Got to travel there. You got to get you a fucking gift. Whatever bachelor party happens, I got to get an 8-ball. I got to get a fucking hotel room. Fuck you. Like, this is expensive.
Yeah. I think after each wedding, you should have to quarantine for a year before you even think about popping the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay away from your significant other for as long as possible and, just lose a little bit of feelings and then continue your business.
Yeah, for sure. I saw a video not too long ago of someone proposing at a wedding.
Really?
That's gross.
That's such a trash
awesome
move.
if it was like right as the you may now kiss this. Like, wait,
yeah.
Martha, I love you.
Because
Like,
now
what wedding exists where any one person knows every single guest that isn't the bride or like? There's a good chance that the bride or the groom doesn't know everyone in that room. You know what I mean? So a guest proposing to his chick, or you know what I mean? Like, it's like, so the chick probably knows, like, let's say a quarter of the people in the room. If the dude knows half, that's excessive. So it's just like, you're just proposing in front of somebody else's aunts and uncles who are just like, who's this dickhead?
Yeah.
I'm convinced it was for the content.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, I think everyone's doing shit for the content.
Hmm.
And it's weird to see in person. Well, one time I was at the mall and saw kids trying to like film, like public pranks and shit like that.
Mhm.
And it's genuinely weird to see in person. Because you realize how fucking like just insane it is to do that to people. or like seeing someone in person like filming themselves to like, hey gang, like.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's really creepy and weird.
Yeah, seeing someone vlog in person is also weird.
Here, I definitely just dropped your beer under the couch.
Oh shit. But
I was trying to be real sly about it. I fell off the couch, hit his foot, and just rolled right to where all the spiders hide.
I legitimately was like, where the fuck is he going?
So see, I'm very professional on here. But
yeah, are you a comic too?
Yeah.
Nice. How long you been doing it for?
5 years this past August. Since I closed my restaurant, I really started taking it seriously.
Fuck yeah. And then from there, you went into podcasting and.
No, I was doing a podcast from before that with Chris Stanley because we used to do it as an XM show because him and my co-host Bronx Johnny, and Chris Stanley used to do a show. We used to do High Society Radio on XM on the Opie and Anthony channel on the weekends. And then they eliminated that block of content, mostly because we got caught on camera in the building getting hammered at like 2 a.m, like in the elevators and shit with like 18 packs, and like XM got in trouble. So we were like, I guess we're doing a podcast now. That's how.
Wait,
that's how.
Just hanging out in elevators?
No, we did our live show on the weekend at it was like midnight to 3 a.m. And then like the guys who came to watch the show on the bleachers were guys we grew up with, and they just like left beers around the building like assholes.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just like, what the fuck are you doing? We're like, we're doing a real thing here.
Right.
And they were just like, they eliminated that block. I think Sam Roberts kept his show, but they were like, that's it. Just the Dan and Sam show can do it, and then no one else. And we were like, fuck. All right, I guess we're podcasters now. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now you can just throw beers wherever.
yeah,
I'm sure Lewis doesn't care, dude. Just fucking throw it. No, I'm just kidding.
It is pretty funny though, like how some of your friends that like some of them, if they're not really involved in the comedy world or anything, they can like do something like that, and then you'd be like, "Yo, dude, you almost like really fucked up my opportunity there." And they're like, it's comedy. Come on, don't be a pussy. It's like, well, no, but there's also you can't just fucking leave shit wherever you want
Yeah.
because you do comedy.
They weren't. It's not like they were comics. They were just our buddies. They were like dudes that Stanley went to college with.
Right,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. So they don't even get it. They don't understand it all. They're like, "Oh, what do you mean? That's just the rock and roll lifestyle." It's like, no,
Yeah.
no. We have to be very tight and orderly when we leave the stage.
Yeah, because that is like a full blown corporation next time. So
Yeah.
it must be kind of dope going to the podcasting sphere from there, because you probably do feel more freedom.
oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like whatever. We're actually doing a thing. Like we were one of the first shows starting on Gas, so it was like just to like build with those guys over the last 5 years has been fucking awesome. Like we started there, and it's just like we're in Ralph's spare bedroom, and now we've got this awesome studio. Skankfest is this giant event every year that we're all at. We're all hanging out. It went from 4 shows to 22. It's fucking that whole part of it is fun, and also like we can do things like bully Ralph into getting us a margarita machine, which we did. Like I literally got a text from Ralph once that said, "Why have I got 100 notifications about you requesting a puppet theater on a Sunday afternoon?" But, because I just tweeted out an email that we sent to him drunk midnight. Ralph, we're going to need a puppet theater. We're going to start a puppet show. It's going to be monthly. You're leaving money on the table if you don't get us a puppet theater for Bronx Johnny. And I put it on Instagram and Twitter. And for whatever reason, people think it's hilarious when we do shit like that. And so they're just like retweeting it and they're going, "Fucking Sutton holding the boys down again." Like, just like, he's like, "Why do I have so many notifications about this puppet theater?"
Yo, did he get the puppet theater?
He did offer to buy it. Johnny backed out. He didn't want to do a puppet show. He pussed out.
I mean, I think at that point, everyone is like, I had no idea people would get that pumped about a puppet show. Like, the
I don't think they actually were. I don't think they were actually going to watch the puppet show. They more just wanted us to do
right,
it.
exactly. So doing the actual puppet show would never have been as cool
That's
as
fun,
just
yeah.
the commotion of we need the puppet show.
Yeah, I got one puppet to come in and call Johnny racial epithets for chickening out of doing the puppet show. That's it.
Beautiful.
The puppet did the racial epithets, not me.
Yeah, it's like trying to go after like a hot chick with a shitty personality. For like
Yeah.
a while, you're like, this is gonna be sick, and then you're actually like fucking her, and then like 2 months in, you're like, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be.
I really hate all of these shows that we're watching after The Coming. Like, there's just she doesn't like anything good. What is this Kardashian shit? I can just watch her on her phone.
Yeah. The worst that I've seen is I've gone into relationships where I'm just like super infatuated,
Mm-hmm.
and then I realize, oh, they hate me. They hate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, they hate everything I like. Like I'll show them just like shit that I think is hilarious, and it's just like one after another. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm like, I rushed into this, but I rushed into a lot of things, and sometimes it's dope. Sometimes it backfires. No, sometimes it's dope. Most of the time it backfires.
Sometimes it's dope and then it backfires.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And usually, I mean, you're still, you're not married yet, so
That's true.
so whatever you're now must be dope. It'll backfire,
Yeah, it'll
Or it
all
won't.
backfire eventually.
or it won't.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm very impulsive. So whenever it's like a new thing, I'm usually like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Mhm.
And then I'll just go all in on that thing without even thinking about it. And if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't be doing comedy, probably wouldn't be doing this podcast, probably wouldn't have done a lot of good things. But then I'm like in a relationship for 2 years, and I'm like, this sucks. You know what I mean?
She loves it. She loves this podcast too. She's been listening to it the past 2 years. She just can't take a fucking hint.
Wait, you're dating a girl for 2 years that you're talking about right now?
Yes, we do.
No.
I really want to do a thing where we try to.
Oh, dude, I should
That'd
have
be hilarious.
Girlfriend, yeah, yo. If you do end up dating somebody for like a while that's been listening to this podcast, we gotta break up with them. Be like,
yeah.
through the podcast. That must be the problem. That's worse than anything else. Worse than a text message, probably.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Because that means she really cares about you if she's listening to your podcast.
Yeah, especially if you do it like the last 5 minutes, like you do plugs for dates and then you go into the breakup.
Yeah.
Like if she like knows that you're broken up after that, that means like she really loved you and you really hurt her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's the worst possible breakup of all time.
yeah. Well, I'm actually I'm with someone now who doesn't listen to the cast, and I actually do think that's tight.
Yeah, no, you can't have that. You just can't have a podcast is not for your significant other, because then they just are always going to be like, my girlfriend avoids it. She doesn't even follow me on social media. Like she's just like, nope, I want no parts of any of that because I'm going to get mad and you're going to justify it and I'm going to get more mad. And I know I probably shouldn't even bother.
Yeah, because half the shit, you're just fucking around, just trying to make the other dude laugh.
Yeah, it's just, I think girls don't understand, because even though girls act different when there's no dudes around, they don't understand that dudes act different when there's no girl. And they're like, why do you do that? Well, why? I was like, I don't know. Why do people act differently in front of the Pope than they do a bartender? What the fuck do you want me to tell you? Like, it's just,
you won't fuck me if I'm normal. If I'm my most normal self, you will stop fucking me. I promise.
Well, I always love when my boys have I call it girlfriend voice.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like,
hey, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my fucking favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, but we're just hanging out and it's like, oh, dude, she just farted in my mouth. And I was just like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm guilty of that. Everybody's guilty of that.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's also, you have to do it to signify to the people you're with that that's who you're talking to also.
Oh, that's why I've never done it, because I didn't think there was a reason. I didn't know that that's like
it's a double reason, yeah.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah, you're like, I'm wearing a wire right now.
Yeah.
Like, put the straws down, idiots. Let's
No, don't make snorting noises now.
Yeah. I used to do that too when I was younger. If my dad called me out when I was at my friend's house, we were just partying, I would be like, hey, Dad.
Yeah.
So everyone would like shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna do that the next time my girlfriend's giving me head. I'm just gonna answer the phone. Oh, hey, Mom, shut the fuck up.
That's pretty hot, though. She might be into that.
Yeah, well, that'll be cool then. It'll be an experiment for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw.
And my mom. I'm actually gonna call her.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna come if you don't have your mom on the phone.
What was that? Oh, no.
Yes. I saw a porn recently where a chick was blowing a dude while on the phone with her boyfriend.
Oh, naughty girls. That's
And it was amateur, so I think it was real.
You go by, if it's a shitty camera, there's like, oh, this guy has no idea.
Yeah, and also too, like, I was like, this guy is so dumb. He deserves this to happen away, because she's literally just like, hey.
Well,
he's like, hey, babe.
Then it could be
Maybe he's just into it.
It could be a situation. It's like, yo, blow dudes and call me when you're doing it.
Yeah,
There's someone in our comedy scene that I'm just gonna say, okay, I don't know.
No name.
I'm not gonna say his name, but he was known for his girlfriend would get fucked by like just random dudes, and they'd come in her, and she'd come home and he'd eat the cum out of her. That's a real thing I learned about someone in the old Philadelphia Comedy Network.
I'm more shocked as a picky eater from that,
right,
than anything else.
Yeah.
I can understand a weird kink, but ew.
Yeah, that's.
I think a finger popped out in his mouth one time, actually, and a piece of broccoli.
And it was just a random dude. She was just picking up.
Like, yeah, it was just like people that she worked with or whatever. Just be like whoever.
I guess if you could be happy that way, I mean,
I think he was manipulated. I think that's like some sort of mind, like maybe it seemed like maybe it was like the first time he ever had sex with somebody. So it was like, if I got to eat cum out of a vagina before I fuck it, I'm going to do that instead of going back to jerking off.
I don't know, dude. I've been a virgin at some point in my life. It's just, I don't think I was doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. But also I think this person, it's like one of those things like there's no turn. Like, I don't want to go back. It's like someone that gets out of prison. It's like, I ain't ever going back. I'll go out in a blaze of glory before I go back.
Is this a person who can't get laid otherwise, probably?
Yeah.
And somehow ended up with this chick?
Yeah. Unless he's listening to this podcast, in which case, no, that dude gets plenty of pussy.
Well, I don't know. That's just like another level, because I can wrap my head around the cucking thing. I actually considered it once. Like, one time I thought it would be cool to just see my girlfriend get fucked. It's like seeing your girlfriend in a porn.
Space that out better next time, because I thought you were talking about eating some cum out of it.
No, not the
I thought you were.
part.
Yeah, the
Not
cum eating
eating.
part is the weirdest part, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's less the fact that he didn't even get to watch her get railed out and still had to eat the cum is
Right.
very strange.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I'm not into that at all. Like, it's just like,
At least let him watch.
I need to see how the sausage is made. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of all pretty bad for me. It's a no from me, man. But at the same
most salads, I would prefer dressing on the side. You
you don't want to get
don't send it with it already on the salad.
Then you don't know whether your girlfriend's wet or it's just leftovers.
also like, how far was she traveling with the cum in her?
It was.
You know what I
still
mean? Like,
just
it's like, was she just like was she putting a cork up there? How the fuck was she like just? Here you go. Comes out like a champagne bottle.
she might have been doing Kegels or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about the other factors too. Like, what season was it? What mode of transportation? We talking car? Are we talking train pussy? Bus pussy?
That means she's just leaving a trail.
Yeah, a little snail trail of hurt, of pain.
Different bulls could follow her home and fuck her there.
Yeah, people are just like, she's close.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's intense, but people are into some crazy shit. But you were saying he wasn't even really that into it.
No. I think they broke up eventually.
Yeah.
They can't. Well, she just wasn't the one.
Yeah.
Seems like that relationship was built on such solid fundamentals.
I know. You'd really think. Honestly,
such a solid foundation of cum eating. Like, how could you fail?
Well, the thing is, it's got to be one of those. It's even weirder that he wasn't into it and it didn't work out. Like, it totally should have worked out because he hated it so much.
Yeah, I feel like
I hate this so much. Why not surround myself by it every day?
Right.
And be really hurt by it and really generally just fucking hate it and maybe contemplate suicide. Why wouldn't you want to do that the rest of your life?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the vows and shit at a wedding would be pointless. Because the guy would be like, do you take this person in sickness and in health? He's like, I ate a dude's cum from her pussy. So I don't think we need to really cover that part. Like, I think we can assume sickness and in health.
And then he gets done saying his vows and someone just comes out from her underneath her dress. He's like, all right, it's your turn, man. You better get in there and strip it out pretty quickly. It's like one of those fountains from Golden Corral, but instead it's just this
It's the chocolate fountain, but it's just cum.
coming out of it. Have you had the hors d'oeuvres here? This wedding is phenomenal.
And I'm just picturing
She's got
classic
50 champagne flutes under her.
I'm just picturing the classic like wedding songs, like you make me want to shout, just like cum just tripping down her leg.
It's like one of those wacky daisies, one of those remember those fucking sprinklers? They just shot her.
Instead of throwing the flowers behind her, it's just a jar of the bull's cum.
Someone gets cracks on their face. Like, I'm getting camel. Okay, cover me next.
Derek, how come you don't eat guys' cum?
That's got to be like the ultimate pull for a chick, though, right? Like finding a dude who's willing to do something that fucking gross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you could find a girl that would like is the equivalent, every dude's just like, yeah, whatever, it's the best for a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that girl was probably like, she probably still flicks off thinking about how gross that dude is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, I wonder if she's like, like, because that's got to be a hard find. Maybe not. Maybe it's not as hard as a find as I'm thinking it is. But
Yeah, you
no,
just
that's a
go to
hard
your
find.
nearest. You just go to your nearest open mic and throw a rock,
Yeah.
Like, it hits him
and then you
again.
find that guy.
It hits him again. He's like, I'll do it again.
What's the deal with eating cum?
I still haven't been laid again. All right. That guy's come, please. He just jerked off in the bathroom. Should be less of a load.
Ugh. Yeah. I mean, kudos to that guy for getting out. And you know what? Kudos to him for trying it.
Yeah,
You
why
know?
not?
I love a good try.
Hey, man,
I feel like Tony Robbins would be like, you know what? He put himself out there.
like I think what he was saying, it speaks for his character more than anyone willing to do that means that he's willing to love at any bounce. You know,
100%.
he's willing to mold himself in order to find happiness.
Yeah. I mean, Chris,
Another.
how would you respond if, like, your girlfriend was like, Chris, you know, I was thinking, you know,
Mhm.
just knocking the idea around. I
Mhm.
was thinking a guy, you know, guys would fuck me.
A guy a day.
Yeah, a guy a day. You know, the calendar. He would come in me. And I was thinking instead of going out to eat, you could just eat that. What would your response be?
I'd be like,
You've been dating for a little bit too, at least a year.
a year. We've been. I would assume, like instantly, I would assume she had already been doing this,
Yeah.
and I just need to examine my brain and be like, wait, what does cum taste like? Oh, fuck. And then
I
I'd be
thought I
like,
was making her squirt.
yeah.
Thought she had real weird squirt.
I thought she was using glue sticks as dildos.
Damn, that rules. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. There's a lot of crazy shit that I fap to that I would never do in
Of
real
course.
life.
I was talking about this on the Thing Is podcast like last week. I was like, milk nymphos. You ever watch that?
No.
I've heard my friends that are like their wives are pregnant talk about it. They're all.
Oh
my
no,
friends-
that's not even it. That
Oh.
I have done.
okay.
But it's just milk animus. It's just spraying milk into dudes' faces. It's just like at a girl's asses. I was just like,
Wait,
watch that. I watched that for like 6 months. I was into it. I haven't watched it in years, but it was like for a while. I was like, yes, this is making me come. I never want it to happen to me.
So they shoot milk out of their ass onto their face?
Yeah, onto the dude's face. Yeah.
Wow.
Now they getting that milk in there. Is it?
Funnel.
That's not okay. I was gonna make sure it wasn't like a trait of some sort. Someone's.
No,
weird-
it wasn't some dude's dick, and then she had to get on the train for an hour, and then she shot it in the dude's face.
This is Tom's milk. Yeah, I mean, here's my rationale with that kind of thing. You can love war movies and not want to go to war.
Yeah.
You know?
You can even play Call of Duty and not want to go to war. So
Yeah.
there's probably going to be those virtual reality things.
You could even
know
get in a clock tower in Texas and start shooting people and not want to go to war.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't any of these guys get drafted? Like,
Yeah.
dude, we saw your work in the tower, man. We could really use you in Iraq, man.
Oh, dude, have you guys ever seen the video of the two cholos in Syria gangbanging against ISIS?
No.
Dude, you have to find that. It's two Syrian dudes who had grown up in LA but then went back to Syria to fight. And they are just, because Arabs and Mexicans look similar. It's just the same. They had the goatees, the bald heads, and they're like, yo, we out here in Syria gangbanging homes. And just da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's fucking the craziest video you'll ever watch.
Holy
There's
shit.
a bunch of them of these guys just shooting outside. Like they're in like blown out schoolhouse just shooting out at fucking ISIS. It's fucking crazy.
Holy shit. And like real cholos.
Yeah. I mean, I think they might be Syrian dudes who just grew up. Like, you know how Swiss Beats isn't Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
He's actually Syrian and was adopted by Puerto Ricans, and that's why he acts like that.
Yeah.
I thought they were just like they were wearing like U.S. Army stuff, but they just have the one button.
No, I think they were like
mercenaries.
mercenaries. These guys are like mercenaries or some shit. It's crazy. You can find the videos online.
I'm gonna look that up. That sounds
like 8 years old.
Holy shit.
They should make a movie about that.
Dude, I could
That
see
sounds rad as
people
Shit.
totally missing the point, like on Twitter, and not even caring that there was bloodshed. Just like, that's appropriation.
Yeah.
Yeah, now people would just be like, "What the fuck? These guys are racist."
That culture doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
Shoot them as Syrians.
Now you behead them. You turn your gun the right way, and then you go cut their heads off.
Yeah, this white guy chopped off a woman's head, and could you believe it? He had dreads. This guy needs to be stopped. Yeah, the internet's a fucking crazy place. Fucking people were flipping out about Bill Burr's monologue. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Really wasn't that big of a whoop.
Well, what's great is watching. I have a group chat that's just 4 black dudes I grew up with and me, and they're just sending screenshots of white women that they're friends with being furious about Bill Burr and laughing.
Yeah, making the point.
Yeah, just being like, I don't got no problems with what this motherfucker said. Like, just like, it's so fucking funny, like how like he did it on purpose. He's like, you can't come after me too hard because I just shitted on the. First of all, white women is who everybody's mad at right now. What are we doing with this? Going back to like this was fine in July, right? Like the whole Karen thing. Like we had to move past this. Who's getting mad? Why are you getting mad at Bill Burr over this shit? Because they're stupid broads.
Well, I think what it is too is he never caught too much heat on Twitter. I think it's because SNL. There's something about going on SNL that really gets people fired up.
It's almost like it's kind of like home territory. I'd be like going to the Eagles Stadium and being like, we love fucking the Giants or whatever. They're like, no, this is where comedy's supposed to be. Even though it has been in this, like, it's almost like they kind of use it as a guide to be like, oh, we must be winning. We haven't had Louis C.K. in here in a while. Or
yeah, Burr
like
was playing an away game. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
he did an away game. I mean, everyone like went from the TVs, you're going like, hell yeah, and the crowd is going, oh, like if you were winning an away game in Dow Stadium as the Eagles team, the crowd in the stadium is pissed. But there's a lot of people outside of the stadium that are like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. And it's sometimes even better. You're like, he's doing it. They're doing it where he's not supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
It makes it cooler.
For sure. And
there's like one dude in the stands wearing the Eagles, like wearing the Bill Burr jersey. He's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's doing it.
Yeah. And
I was surprised how many people didn't know who he was. Like people that I know didn't know. They were like, I'd never heard any of his comedy.
He has at least like how many Netflix special out?
He's got a show on Netflix. He's been on Rogan a dozen times. You know what I mean? Like any number. He was what the fuck was that movie? He's been in a ton of movies. You know what I mean? Like Breaking Bad. Like it's like you don't know who this guy is.
You know why I think what he did was he washed off some of the hatred because he went on Joe Rogan's podcast and Joe Rogan said something about questioning the masks and Bill Burr was like, let's not pretend we're scientists. And everyone was like, oh, he's now forgiven for someone to tell Joe Rogan on his podcast to not just have a conversation about something with the mask, even though Bill Burr was just doing it to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe that kind of like, they're like, all right, he's good for now. And then.
Yeah. And
probably not even that. They probably somehow he just slipped through the cracks for most people just because he hasn't been on an SNL yet.
Yeah. And I find that like a lot of people who like SNL now aren't really cool with a lot.
Like just stop it right with a lot of
yeah, I feel like they're just not cool with a lot of shit.
No. Well, it's like the people who watch SNL are children, right? Like we all watched it as children. Like that's like a weird rite of passage when you're old enough to stay up past your parents going to bed, but not old enough to be allowed to be out of the house when they're in bed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when you're 14, you watch SNL.
Yeah, that's literally the point of it. Because if you were older and you were watching it at home, then you're a fucking loser anyway. So
Once you hit 16, if you're watching SNL live every week, you're a fucking dork.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think you are right, but I think it took on something new now. Because like my mom keeps up with SNL. I think because it's so political now.
Oh, it's also online, so you can see everything the next morning.
And you don't even have to watch the whole thing. You just watch whatever clip you want. And feel whatever, like, and also people will post it in a certain way. It's like, hey, you want to get mad at Bill Burr, or you want to see people get mad at Bill Burr?
But
I didn't see anyone post, hey, here's Bill Burr's set. It's like, it was either one like, look how many people got mad at this, or like, look how mad I am at this. No one was just like, hey, look at this set.
Yeah.
Dude, no, but I'll say it's this though. I think the reason why you got like older people watching SNL, even if it's just the clips to try to stay relevant, it's like fucking nostalgia memes. Like whenever somebody brings up something like SNL to me, like you ever go on like Facebook and you find out the VMAs are on, and then you find out a bunch of adults are for some reason watching the VMAs, and you're like, what the fuck are you? Masturbate, do something else. Like, what do you? Play with your children or a dog. Like, you're watching the VMAs, you fucking dork. Stop trying to stay relevant that way. Like, fucking learn a thing. And then I got all those same people being like, how do you know about cryptocurrency? I don't know. I try to not watch the VMAs and SNL like a fucking asshole. Like, did you see somebody made a compilation video of the stupid fly sketch that they did with Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
They did the exact same thing, the same jokes with Hillary and Trump in 2016. The Hillary going, nope. I got this. Don't worry. Give him more time. They did the same fucking joke 4 years apart and thought nobody would notice.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and also, too, I think you are right with the demographics that are watching that shit. It's the same thing with movies. That's why there's so many reboots. Because most of the people who go to movie theaters now are older. So they need to make all these reboots because of the nostalgia. Nostalgia.
People who don't want an original thought.
Yeah.
The reason why The Big Bang Theory is the most popular show on television is because it has the laughs in all the right places. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's the same jokes that fucking 60-year-olds have been hearing since they were fucking 14.
Yeah, that's crazy because my like that's a good point. Like it's my first comedy show I ever did. We did a old folks home. It was like an assisted living place. Mm-hmm. It was horrible, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah, I was walking into fucking.
You just got to hit the medicine cabinet on the way out.
Exactly. That's kind of how I felt about it. But what they like didn't laugh at a single thing. I'm like, oh, maybe they're just like comatose or some shit. They go up and they have pieces of paper they printed out from online of jokes that like their favorite comedians told, and they took turns telling the jokes to each other, and they all fucking crushed. They all crushed. So I'm like, God damn it, I hate my life so bad right now. Yeah. But then I realized, I'm like, that's just like going back. It's like, yeah, no, they like what they like.
Yeah, the nostalgia is like a huge fucking marketing ploy,
for sure.
Yeah,
dude, have you guys ever been to Atlanta?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, you ever go to the Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta?
No.
Dude, before you go in, they make you watch this video. And it's just a 3-minute video. There's no Coca-Cola branding in it, but it's very much one of those heartfelt Coca-Cola commercials. It's 3 fucking minutes long. And it's just emotional rape. Like they just use nostalgia and Americana and fucking sappy music. I'm talking about some fat lady was crying in the Coca-Cola Museum before they let us in to look at Coca-Cola artifacts. And I'm just like, this is a monument to why capitalism works, because there's 280 million of these idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm a marketing major right now, and that's like such a huge thing that they talk about. That cause-based marketing, because millennials think a company cares if you like back a cause. And it is crazy what they're teaching. I have to take a civic engagement class that I'm taking online right now. And an assignment we just did was we had to
that's where you break out a Honda Civic and then get engaged to some piece of trash in the Honda Civic, right?
Yeah. And we had to go through a checklist of our privilege.
Okay.
What are you privileged with?
There was a few things like
fat cock, check. Fatter cock, check.
Being tall and not fat and not Jewish, check.
Fat dude, check.
Yeah, there's a lot of things weighing me down, dude.
So wait, did you guys have to like read them in front of the class or some shit? Because that'd be.
Well, it kind of works out because it works out against them. They're like, it's a safe space here. So they're like, go around the class and share your privilege. And I'm like, honestly, I feel like that's like my truth, and I feel a little uncomfortable. And I know this is a safe space, so I hope that's okay. And they're like, yes, of course. So I was like, all right, sick.
You should have started going, ouch! Oh, it hurts so much.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
These schools for nerds.
Yeah, I always heard these kind of conspiracy. I always heard.
Well, yeah, it's for chicks and dorks. You should not go there.
Yeah, quit it. Start eating cum out of your girlfriend's pussy and be a man.
Yeah, grow up, dude. Fucking grow up.
Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah. But I don't even know why I went on that tangent. Sorry.
Dude, if you're a marketing major, you got to read. You ever read the book Influence?
No.
Dude, you got to get that book. That's like Ray Dalio gives it to all his employees and shit, and it's just about marketing influence. I guarantee you're going to have it as required reading at some point.
Oh shit! All right.
I'll send you a link to this shit after on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's a dope book. I have I got really weirdly, like years ago, I got really weirdly into reading about marketing. I read Contagious is a good one. I read a bunch of marketing books and like just different business plan books. I read you can't tell from my shitty bookshelf over here, but I used to actually read real books. This is,
Is that an X-Men book? I thought it was a board game.
No, that is a 1990s 12-inch Battle Ravage Wolverine still mint in the box. That's what that is.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
and I just had
I have a question. Wait, I don't know if this was you or someone else on the podcast. Are you like a Settlers of Catan champion of the world?
No. Chris Stanley he's a big Settlers of Catan guy.
Different Chris. Shit.
Yeah.
All right, never mind, dude.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's actually for the best. It was probably going to be horrible to be like, I like that board game too.
I played it once and I fucking beat his ass. So I guess I'm better than him.
So then, yes.
I'm nationally ranked now.
Wow, congratulations, man. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking big.
Yeah, dude. You stack those books behind you just so people can.
I did it like in the beginning when we were doing podcasts over Zoom and nobody got the joke. And I was like, every newscaster has books behind them. What are you fucking talking about? And then 3 weeks later, my co-hosts were like, yeah, you're right. I was watching CNN and they all like, fuck you guys. Fuck you.
Yeah, like as if the anchors and newscast at like news stations are even reading books before they turn and just read the wet letters off the TV, the computer prompts in front of them.
I think half of them have books green screened onto the back. Like you just have, they're living in like some of these guys have like tiny New York apartments and you have a full wall bookshelf. I don't believe you.
Yeah, well, I would love to see one of these newscasters with just a wall of just like Where's Waldo's.
That's like, what the point of this was. This is the Gambler's Bible. This is some Scrooge McDuck comic books from the 60s. Like the Pimped by Iceberg Slim.
You can learn more on those than you can in a Where's Waldo, though, for sure. Scrooge McDuck, he's got some personality. And then,
I got influence right here. Robert Cialdini, PhD. There you go. That's the book. It's right here.
Oh, there it is.
Fuck yeah.
Let's throw it on through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always felt dumb because I hate reading.
Really?
I always fall asleep, even if it's something I'm interested in. That's kind of why I got in the podcast. I was like, that's really the only way I can like take in new information.
It'd be even funnier if you like have to be doing something else so you don't fall asleep. It's just information makes you fall asleep. But you have to be doing push-ups while listening to podcasts so you can't learn.
Yeah. I have to be eating cum from a pussy.
Yeah. You need the calories. Your brain needs to fucking fire up.
Yeah, I mean, eating the cum from a pussy would be a great way to learn trickle down.
Sure, yeah.
Every teacher has their ways. Maybe that's what she was actually. It was actually she was a teacher and it was all of her students.
Yeah, that is very like Mr. Miyagi. Like you got to get the basics, the motor skills down.
Yeah, maybe that's what the issue was. He's like, all right, if I just keep doing this, eventually I'll learn the actual reason behind doing this. And then like a year in, he's like, oh, I think I've just eaten cum just because she wants me to.
Did I just
can't imagine? I can't imagine being able to get an erection and have sex with a woman after eating cum out of her pussy. Like I can't. What like the mental gymnastics I'd have to do while like brushing cum off of my tongue. Like,
yeah. Well, I guess there's got to be something just deep seated because, I mean, people get hard over even wilder stuff. Like Ted Bundy. Like, how hard must it be to be in a relationship with Ted Bundy? You're like, I'm trying everything, dude. Nothing gets you hard. And he's like, well, there's something. But
can you leave? Don't just have. I like. Yeah, he's always dating somebody with a lot of.
Only gonna work once.
yeah.
Dating with a lot of people with a lot of pictures of their children in the bedroom.
Yeah. Was Ted Bundy a serial killer, or did he just have a bunch of one-night stands?
Oh, I thought he was a pedophile. Yeah, never mind.
No. Gacy.
Yeah. I always get him confused.
They're all just cool dudes,
Yeah, Yeah, they're all just hanging out, trying to live
Yeah.
their best lives.
I mean, we can relate. Just guys working on their craft.
Yeah,
But we like pageantry.
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, Gacy was the clown dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did he do? Did he like lure kids in with the clown shit, and then he
I
was
think
like,
didn't he
"Psych."
actually? Hold on. Did he actually kill? He killed kids. I think he also killed. They all kill gay dudes, right? It's just they're easiest to catch.
I know Dahmer was big on the gay dudes.
Dahmer was huge on the gay dudes, but did Gacy also kill gay dudes?
I don't know.
Something about I wonder if that's just like their preference, or is it kind of like a fucked up thing, like they assume that gay people can't fight back.
No, I think it's that it's easy.
Gay people are more delicious.
If you're gonna lure, I think the easiest. If you're a man and you're a murderer, the easiest person to lure anywhere to murder is a gay man, right?
Yeah, they're kind of always just lured around anyway. So like,
Well, if you were a woman, the easiest person to lure is a straight man. Men are just gonna follow blowjobs,
yeah,
and then
right.
that's how you kill them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like-
These guys are pretty smart.
Yeah.
These guys are just efficient.
I mean,
They're
dude,
working on their bottom line.
it's easy when you have people's expectations so much in a different place than what you like. Oh, this guy thinks it's sex, but really it's murder.
It's just a card trick, but with murder.
Yeah.
It's just sleight of hand.
I mean, it's much
Is this your face?
it's much easy to it's much easier to murder than to get laid because there's no consent for murder. You know?
Yeah. I mean, but there are the chicks that are really into murderers. Like Ted Bundy had like a bunch of chicks like writing him letters in prison.
Yeah,
shit like that.
he's getting the consent for sex and then murdering.
Right.
He's taking a little step too far. Still, even so, he's like, "You did it, man. You did it.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Bundy: too far.
Too far, man. No,
Too far.
no one to pull the punches. Literally.
Indulgent much?
Oh God,
We lost the lights.
it happens every time.
What the?
That's all right.
Are you guys haunted? What is happening?
We have a
Bundy
light
heard
in
us.
the other room that my family likes to turn off to make me realize I'm still living at home.
Yeah, that's a good. At least they're not making him meet his dad's cum out of his mom.
Yeah. That you're a glass half full guy. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I know a lot of people that are very into researching serial killers. Like, I think a serial killer podcast is one of the biggest podcasts.
Well, Serial was the biggest podcast for a while, but that's not a serial killer one. But then, yeah, My Favorite Murder is a big one, right? Like, that's a huge podcast. People. Well, that's also a white women thing, right?
Yeah, I did hear like those crime shows and stuff like that are skewed way more to female viewership.
Well, I think when it's like serial killers, I think when it's like anything that's like the mafia, men are more into.
Well, because serial killers, it's more of because serial killing, there is more of an art to it. It's a fucked up art, but it's like you got to be. Usually, serial killers have some sort of charm to them, one way or another.
Serial killers, fuck, right? Like it's like chicks are just like, yeah, like could he convince me?
Right.
Would I fall prey? Whereas dudes are just like, yeah, I just want to be able to pistol whip people and eat scungeel.
Right. Yeah. There's a difference between someone who overreacts and just acts out of just what the fuck, dude?
Maybe they'll methodically stalk this pussy, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. They're like, I already got it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I feel safe now. Boom, murdered. It's like, oh wow, he really worked that. He did a really good job. That's actually, I never saw that coming.
He's just really confident.
Exactly. It's like I like the confidence, and there's something more. Like you watch that, it's maybe because it's like they're trying to learn like little tricks, maybe just like because they're maybe just trying to realize like, is there like a certain thing?
I just like the sentiment they're trying to learn. Like Ted Bundy's like, listen, man, I'm always a student.
Well, that's
student first, dude.
See, there could be something within one of these serial killers, which it usually is murder, but maybe there's another telltale sign that these dudes are going to be murderers. So they're trying to say, like, say you watch a Ted Bundy, a Bundy thing, and then you're on a date, and there's like Ted Bundy does this weird like tick or something, and then the girl picks up on it, is like, I don't know.
Ted Bundy, like he tears apart his food,
Right?
Something like that. Now you know.
Right.
It's a weird thing. It's like, girl, like my buddy who teaches jujitsu is always like, girls pick up technique faster because they have to. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe they're just looking for serial killer signs. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Whereas
So,
dudes are watching mafia shit like, I could do that. That's going to be good.
right. Yeah. Like, I can't wait to try that one out.
It just shows how much, like, we, in a lot of ways, are stupider. You know,
for sure.
women are stupider, but we are also in ways far stupider.
Yeah, but because we can afford it.
True. Yeah.
Because
We don't have the implicit threat of violence as casually as they do.
Yeah.
True. There was one sign of being a serial killer that I thought was interesting was there's been people that will go into like clothing stores and cut like leather jackets.
Piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. The feeling.
Yes. Like that's the closest thing they can get to skin. So
they don't have like a dog at home or something?
Yeah, well, there's like the classic ones where like you're like strangling squirrels and stuff like that. But yeah, that was one that was.
Yeah, I think I talked about this on this cast before, but my neighbor, my friend's neighbor, his dad used to capture squirrels like that were on his front yard and would take them out on vacation, like when they would go camping, and drown them. And he told us that one time. We're like, "Yo, your dad's probably like a serial killer, man." He's like, "Nuh-uh." I'm like, "What dude, he's going out and strangling. Like, what do you mean? How does he like?" He's like, "Yeah, you take him out in a bucket and puts him in the lake and drowns him." And I'm like, "Yo, dude, your dad's definitely a serial killer." And I was passing by his house one time, and he had a squirrel in the cage out front. So I'm like, "Nah, dude, we can't let this happen." So I released the squirrel and I replaced it with a Shrek doll. And I took his prey from him, so we always had a little bit of a thing.
Back and forth.
Yeah, man. Like his fucking parents called the cops on our parents. It's been a whole fucking bad
because he clearly liked killing the squirrels because he was driving somewhere to go fishing, right? Like an hour away.
Yeah.
Because he just released the squirrels.
Right. Yeah.
Like I don't think squirrels they're not dogs. They're not going to find their way home.
No, exactly. And also here in it's just that's where the squirrels are supposed to be. They weren't in his house. They were just in squirrel areas that squirrels are supposed to be at. Like it's like wooded area around where in my neighborhood.
Oh, so like it wasn't even like there was a bunch of squirrels getting into his trash or fucking with his cat or something.
No, they were just passing by. They were
just doing squirrel shit.
Yeah, they were just doing some squirrel shit. Like, oh, here's an acorn.
Yeah.
Boom.
He went to their home.
Yeah.
That's like Bill Burr going to SNL and drowning the audience.
Drowning PC members. White women with blue hair.
Kate McKinnon, just killing Kate McKinnon.
Yeah. But I guess he does it. The reason why we do this, dude, because we love it.
Right.
You got to follow your passions.
Yeah, I agree. And so, I mean,
100% no edits to that.
Absolutely.
I don't care what it is.
Dude, you're right, though. Because someone needs to do that so someone can stop it. It's the only way we grow. Evil must happen in order for good to triumph.
You got it, dude. And I think that's a fucking sick message to leave off on, dude.
All right.
Where we just hit about an hour.
I think so, yeah. Can I actually just plug the new podcast, too?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
You just plug your heart out.
So I started a second podcast called Notes of a Goon. Just came out. It's I drink 3 beers. The idea is I'm splitting a 6-pack with the listener. I like to call it it's corner bar stool knowledge. That's what I'm doing. And so basically like enough people in my life have been like, you are the best 2 a.m. drunk bar ranter. You need to just capture that. And that's what I'm doing. I just have like Harrington there to kind of like bounce my nonsense. Whatever I think of drunk now, I write down. And now I have that for when I go and I drink 3 tall boys and I just yell. The podcast lasts as however long the 3 tall boys last. Wow. And that's the thing. Notes of a Goon every Tuesday. High Society Radio also comes out on Tuesdays.
That sounds awesome, man.
Fuck yeah, man. And what's the Instagram handle for?
Oh, just you can get me at Chris from BKLYN on Twitter or High Society Radio on Instagram. Is both of them.
Fuck yeah. And follow me at Rob Cruz Comedy on Instagram. And just did a taping recently that should be on YouTube soon. So look out for that, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. You follow me, right.Cody. Also be at Punchline October 30th. So come on out to that.
Nice.
But, dude, I'm actually really excited. That idea that for your podcast is enlightening, man. That whole thing of like coming up, like I just like that you're gonna get drunk again. It's almost like it fires back, like you're almost back into the same, like in Beer Fest, where it's like I every time I get drunk, I remember everything that I forgot.
Yes.
And
Yeah, exactly. It's that mentality, just getting into it.
So it's got to be Tall Boys, though, right?
It's got to be tall. Oh well, yeah. I once yelled at an intern at Gas. I was like, go get a 6-pack, and he brought in regular beers. And I was like, I gave you a 20. If you ever walk in with small beers again, we are fist fighting on the air.
Hell yeah, dude. That's how you gotta. That's how you manage a fucking crew, though.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on, man.
No, thanks for having me, guys. This was a really fun time. And if you guys are, we're not back in studio for High Society for a little bit, but if you guys are in town, maybe we could just do it. Like, if you guys are in town, like after January, if you ever want to come into Gas, maybe do a show. That'd be dope.
Hell yeah, man.
This was fun. You guys definitely fit with our show. So it's like, that'd be great.
Awesome. Hell yeah, man. We'd love to do that.
Appreciate that.
Dope.
Hell yeah, guys. Shout out to the real ones.
We're all best friends.